Hey y'all, it's Amanda, and today we're going to be talking about cheap plants. You know, those clearance plants, those all of a sudden on sale plants. We're going to be talking all about those plants and what's the catch with those plants. So you see a plant marked down and it feels like you just found a deal that you can't pass up. I can't tell you how many times this has happened to me in a nursery, but sometimes those deals aren't quite what they seem. So today we're taking a closer look at discounted plants, why they're cheap, what might be going on behind the scenes, and how to decide if it's actually a good buy. And this is something I wanted to chat about because I am definitely someone who falls into the trap of sale or clearance plants. And I've really, the last couple of years, taken a different approach to it. And I feel like it's really helped improve my gardening. It's allowed me to buy better quality plants. And it's really allowed me to save money in the end. All right, so let's start with, why do these plants get marked down? That's your biggest question every time you're approaching a plant that's on sale. Why is this plant marked down? Plants are usually discounted for a reason, not randomly. So they are discounted for some particular reason. Common reasons may be they're past their prime selling window. So examples would be spring annuals could be on sale in late spring. Holiday plants are on sale after the holidays. Blooming plants that are finishing up their bloom cycles might be discounted. So it's usually when they're past their prime. Garden centers are selling timing, not just plants. Garden centers are hoping that you walk in, you see these beautiful flowers, and you buy. Once those plants have gone through their bloom cycle and they no longer have flowers anymore, they don't draw as much interest as other ones. Once that window passes, the price drops even if the plant is still usable. So once they're not looking at their absolute best, once you're past that prime planting time, then those prices usually drop. Another reason they might drop is they've been stressed in the store. So plants may have experienced inconsistent watering, too much heat, or too much cold if we've had a late season cold spell. Not enough light, maybe they've been buried, or crowding that has caused issues with them. That plant may have been sitting on a shelf getting watered on a schedule that doesn't match what it needs for quite a while. Another reason they might be marked down is they're root bound. Signs of being root bound, the roots are circling the inside bottom of the pot. Soil is drying out very quickly and stunted growth. So a lot of discounted plants have simply outgrown their container. They're harder to upkeep at that point, and so the nursery discounts them to move them along. And then one other reason they might be on sale or discounted, they didn't sell quickly. So sometimes it's just a less popular color. You know, maybe all the pinks sold, but all the reds or oranges are left behind because they're not as popular colors. Slightly imperfect shape. Maybe this beautiful round plant happens to be smashed on one side, so its shape is not perfect and not as eye-catching as other plants might be. Sometimes it's not a bad plant, it just didn't catch anyone's eye, and that's why it didn't sell. Okay, let's talk about loss leader pricing. This is that gotcha pricing, all right? And this is something I really want to go over with y'all so that you are aware of loss leader pricing when you are shopping. A loss leader is a product that's sold at a low price in order to attract customers, right? Brings you in, wants you to buy that, you want to buy that low price plant. It gets you in the store, shopping around and checking out everything, and it encourages additional purchases. So sometimes that super cheap plant isn't about the plant at all. It's about getting you into the garden center where you might buy soil and pots and fertilizers and other plants and everything else you might need. So a real life example would be you're going in for that $2 plant that's on sale and you're walking out with $75 in supplies. So that loss leader plant is discounted so that you will come in, buy that discounted plant, but also walk out with other purchases from the store. So one good deal can completely change your viewpoint when you're in the garden center. Going in for that one really awesome deal is exciting. But then if you're all like, I also need to pick up this, and this, you're thinking, I got this great deal, I'll just go ahead and get those other things there. It totally changes your perspective when you're in the garden center. All right, let's talk about why cheap plants can be misleading. You need to understand that just because it's a low price doesn't mean that that plant is low effort. Sometimes cheap plants need more care. They need more time and they need more troubleshooting. So that $2 plant might actually cost more in time and effort than buying a healthy one to begin with. So I think that that's something really important to remember. Now, there are those of us who love to get barely hanging on by a thread plants and like to bring them back to life literally as part of the hobby. But if you're someone who has a limited amount of time in order to garden, perhaps just buying the healthy plant to begin with is the way to go. All right, so let's say you walk into the store, you see these really discounted plants, you're all excited. What do you look at before buying these plants? Super important. You're going to focus on 4 different things. You're going to focus on roots. And when I say roots, you're going to ask yourself, are they circling heavily? Meaning, are they root bound? Are they mushy? Meaning they're rotting, or are they dry, parched, dehydrated? Healthy roots are going to be firm and have a light color to them. You're also going to check leaves. You're going to look for any yellowing on the leaves, which typically is going to lead to stress, that the plant has been through some type of stress. Spots or disease, if you see fungus on the leaves, if you see black and brown spots that you're unsure about, and if you see pest damage, something's been eating through those leaves or something along those lines. You're also going to check the stems. Are they strong or are they weak? Typically, if they're strong, then they got the light that they needed. If it's weak stems, then they probably were placed in an area that was too shady and they had a stretch to be able to reach the light, therefore creating weak stems. Is the plant leggy or is it compact? Is it grown all wonky and funky, even though it's supposed to have a compact feeling? Really look and observe the shape of the plant. You're also going to check the soil. Is it bone dry? Is it incredibly parched and looks like it hasn't been watered in a while? Or is it waterlogged? Is it so soggy, mushy, and smells terrible that it's actually rotting because it's been overwatered over time? I don't expect discounted plants to be perfect. I have no expectation in the world for that, but I do want to know what I'm dealing with before I purchase it. So when looking at these discounted plants, really observe these 4 things: roots, leaves, stems, soil. Check out these things prior to purchasing the plant and make sure that you understand what you're dealing with prior to bringing that plant home. All right, so when is a cheap plant actually a good deal? This is a number 1 question I get asked quite a bit. You're looking for a plant with healthy roots, minor cosmetic issues, and plants that just need water or pruning. Those are going to be amazing deals as a discounted plant. My favorite discounted plants are the ones that just need a little bit of love and that's it. Those are excellent buys. But then also, how do you know when to walk away? When do you know that that discounted plant is not for you? You want to avoid plants with severe pest infestations, root rot. They'll smell terrible. They'll smell like rot. Disease spreading on the leaves, weak collapsing stems. Not every plant is worth saving, and that's okay. I also think it's important to observe what season that plant is in. Is it an annual? And we're 2 weeks away from getting freezing weather, perhaps not the best time to buy that annual. You want to observe the season in which you're buying that plant and make sure it still makes sense. I love to buy discounted perennials in the fall. They've already bloomed through the summer, they're petering out, they're starting to go to sleep, and a lot of them will be discounted in the fall. And I love picking up those discounted perennials in the fall because fall is the perfect time to plant them. They'll overwinter through the winter, and then come spring and summer, they'll bloom again. Okay, how to bring a discounted plant back. So say you found a discounted plant you love, it needs a little bit of help. What steps can you go through to encourage this plant to come back for you? Step number 1, repot it. Repot it is one of the things I think people miss the most. Your inclination typically is to just leave it in its nursery pot, but go ahead and repot it. Loosen the roots, move to a slightly larger container, and use fresh soil. Step number 2, trim or prune. So you want to remove dead or damaged growth, anything that looks like it might have some disease, pest infestation, squashed on one side, whatever's not looking good, spent flowers. And by doing this, you're going to be encouraging new growth. You don't want an already weak plant having to try to support parts of the plant that don't look very good, right? So go ahead and cut off those spent blooms, cut off the leaves that are browning or older, trim up the plant so it doesn't have to deal with anything except for the fresh new growth. Step number 3 is water correctly. So go ahead and research what this plant requires and water accordingly. So you want to fully hydrate any plants that have been overly dry, and you want to make sure you check them on a daily basis to make sure that they are staying moist. And then if you have a soggy plant, make sure that you allow that to dry out prior to rewatering. Step number 4, give proper light. I think this is an issue that a lot of plants deal with at the nurseries that we don't realize. So look up your plant, match the plant needs. Figure out what kind of light that plant needs. If it needs full sun, then make sure that you're getting it at 6+ hours of light per day. If it needs part shade, make sure it's getting morning light with afternoon shade, and so on and so forth. Avoid shock with sudden changes. So if you have a plant and you feel like it hasn't been getting enough sun, maybe it's really gotten leggy and such, and maybe it needs full sun, work up to that point. Don't just immediately go throw it in full hot afternoon sun. Do a hardening off process again and gradually introduce it to the amount of sun hours it needs. And step number 5, be patient. You cannot expect for this plant to just bounce back immediately and be absolutely beautiful. It's going to take time. Growth may pause during this time when you're trying to recuperate this plant, and that's okay. That means it's focusing on its growth below the soil surface. And recovery takes time. It might take these plants a full season or full annual cycle before you really see some big, beautiful new change with it. Most of the time, these plants aren't dead, they're just stressed. They just have certain needs that aren't being met. And if you meet these needs, you're gonna have a beautiful plant. Okay, and how should this change your mindset when you're at the garden center? And I think that this is really important. This whole subject for this video is something I wish somebody had told me well over a decade ago when I was a beginner gardener and I was shopping for plants. And perhaps this is a reminder for a lot of us more experienced, mature gardeners when we are tempted by those discounted plants. Once you understand this, once you understand these steps, you start seeing the potential instead of the problems with these discounted plants, which is important. You start seeing the value instead of just the price, all right? Just because the price is good doesn't mean the value of the plant is good. And you're really looking at the value of that plant. Timing instead of urgency. Looking at this plant, looking at the timing for this plant. Is it a good time of year to plant this plant? If I plant it now, is it going to come back for me next year? If I plant it now, am I only going to be able to enjoy it 3 weeks before we get a freeze? Is this the appropriate timing for this plant? One good deal can completely change how you shop at a garden center. You go in for that good deal and it makes you look at everything else differently. So beware. Make sure you have control of your situation and that you're not falling for those lost leader plants. You need to stop reacting to the price and start evaluating the plant first. Is this plant a good value? Does the timing make sense? Will this work in the light I have to provide? Evaluate the plant, not just that price. And remember, cheap plants aren't always a bad deal, okay? But they're not always a good one either. There's going to be some discounted plants that are going to be awesome. Like I say, I love to pick up discounted perennials. I think that's just such a great time to do that. A lot of times the discounted annuals is because they're out of their prime and they're shifting seasons. So that plant isn't going to actually last very long in your garden at all. The key to all of this when you're buying either a regular price or a discounted plant is knowing what you're actually buying. Knowing about the plant, researching the plant, understanding the value of the plant, and if it will work in your garden at that exact timing. All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this. It seems just like a simple idea, but it's really something I wanted to touch on with you all because especially at this time of year, I am totally excited about everything that's going in the on in the garden centers. It's like Christmas for gardeners out there. Absolutely beautiful. And it's really easy to get excited and wrapped up and then spend the money that doesn't need to be spent and buy plants that don't make sense for your garden. So just touching on this, I hope this helps a lot of you out when you're out shopping for your plants this spring. All right, I would love to know, have you ever bought a discounted plant and brought it back to life? If you have, I would love to hear about that experience and what plant it was, how you brought it back to life. I hear a lot of people buying off the clearance racks at Lowe's, and I have done that a few times, especially for coneflowers. That's one of my favorite things to find on those clearance racks. All right, you all, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you're like me and you would like to join a gardening community and continue to grow your gardening knowledge, be sure to check out my Patreon community. The link is in the video description below. It's a great group of people who love to talk about gardening. We have a live for my patrons tonight. I'm so excited. Can't wait to hang out with them and talk about what's going on in our April gardens, but be sure to check that out. All right, you all, as always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.